share some thoughts.
I won't give remarks. Good afternoon. I think I gave adequate remarks at the inception. So I just say we have a hard task ahead of us. The reality is the public perception and the reality of the relationship between the government and the people of Kenya is at its lowest. And so we have a hard task against public opinion and against the challenges that are there right now, that we have to find a way to work together and ensure that we must deliver. Because for some of us, our reputation means everything, and therefore we must deliver. And I would urge that, because even the chair said that this is apolitical, everyone who once has taken oath of office, kindly avoid posting pro-government or pro-opposition slogans or anything, because you will affect the nature of the work of this committee. Because if you have to sell the fact that we remain apolitical and we remain neutral and our role is to ensure that we're able to serve, then we cannot be seen selling any type of rhetoric. So unfortunately, that is part of, I hope, that chair that we must enforce, because people must feel that they are safe to come and they are safe to share their stories and they are safe to come before this panel. I've worked closely with Kenya National Commission for Human Rights. I've worked as well with IPOA, particularly the time that the public opinion was at its lowest. And so we had to devise means and ways that members can share their stories and to IPOA officers without them having to go to IPOA offices itself. And so being at this side, and I understand whenever we meet with the police force, particularly at the NCAJ or at our meetings, it's normally a gruesome meeting because I stand on this other side. But I've decided to stand for us to work together for victims. This is about us churning through a difficult, I say, I don't know how to say, the roadmap we'll make is going to be new, and at the same time it's an opportunity for us to direct. You know, I stood before National Police regional officers and they confirmed that they all get training in the Constitution as well as the standing orders and also the National Police Act, and so they are aware of what they ought to do. And therefore, when we are coming up with recommendations and we are coming up with ways to improve things, it's for the benefit for both sides, to protect the police, some of them who are injured during this protest, but at the same time to sanction those who are liable for being overzealous and taking away life. Kenya is our country, and it's up to us to make recommendations that can foster back public confidence, as well as ensure that people can be able to self-express without the fear that they will not come home, and more so that even in the quiet of your home, that your life will be taken away. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Vice Chair. I just want to run through some quick things because I know, we've been here for quite a while, planting our ears in our seats for hours on end. So I want to sort of just run through a few things. Today was not the place or the time to extrapolate on our mandate, our powers, our deliverables in a granular way. But I think through the conversations and the contributions of everyone in the room, I think we've been able to touch on some of these. Of course, with reference to the four corners of the Gazette notice that appointed us and gave us this task. So I want to leave that task of sort of mining in a granular way, our mandate, our powers, and the timelines and so on, to the technical teams so that they can come up with that. I'll be liaising with Bano and the joint secretaries and of course the vice chair to come up with a grid of some sort that we can discuss next week at the Kenya School of Government. We intend to have a retreat for a number of days there. My tentative thinking is that the technical team really goes there first and spends 2 or 3 days drilling down and sieving issues so that on the 3rd or 4th day they can call the panel itself, and the panel can then be interactive with the technical team to make decisions about some of these issues. Obviously, any member of the panel who wants to go for the first few days is free to do so. But I think for the most part, that will be the time for the panel to think about its work plan and to divide up, among itself, the thematic areas that I think should be done. Then they'll bring that work back to the panel for revision or ratification, amendment or rejection, so that we can proceed. I think that's an efficient way to go forward. So again, from Monday to Thursday or Friday, we shall be going to the Kenya School of Government. I don't know what time you want to start, but you can let us know so that people can be there. For the technical teams, that is essential, just essential, because you are our backbone. So that is one. I think there will be communication coming from the joint secretaries and obviously the technical leads on that issue. There have been discussions here and there about the grounding on which we stand as a matter of law. Again, that issue can be discussed at some point, although I would say the horse has left the barn. If you look at the terms of reference, there is the sort of a narrow mandate of compensation, and then there's a more robust transformative work of nation building that is there. In order for both to be done, I would suggest that we will have to engage with the public, as our Vice Chair has talked about, but that engagement with the public will have to be curated and it will have to be targeted so that it can be productive to both to the public and to us. Because as you can imagine, there will be questions about who is eligible and who is not, and that will bring a lot of angst and perhaps even a lawsuit or two. Why was I left out? And so on and so forth. So we'll draw down on all of that. And I think this is where, for example, the data issues will come in, and the records of the doctors, the law enforcement, and the Human Rights Institute.